How do we start this? Let's see.
Just hey.
Oh,
Welcome.
hey everybody. Welcome to Candid Conversations. I'm sitting here with the amazing and beautiful and talented Miss Ninel. And she is a mental health advocate. And well, you go ahead and,
Yes. Hello. So I'm Ninel Nekay. I'm a Black mental health advocate based in Atlanta, Georgia. I stay on the outskirts, though. Don't talk about me. But yeah, I'm a writer, actress, mainly a poet. And so it's been nice to connect with Edi to bring you guys some mental health oriented content today. That's at the top of my list. So thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. Yeah. And for those of you who all don't know me, I'm Edi Callier. And I sing and play some instruments and stuff. One of the things that brought this about was if you all have been noticing, I just released a new debut EP, and on the project I talk a lot about like mental health and its effects on just life in general and personal identity and everything like that. And I noticed this is not just the conversations that should go on wax, but something that we should actually verbally talk about, and that's something that we should bring to you all and involve you in. So yeah, I'm really excited. I'm really glad that we're here doing this.
Yeah, you just said something that inspired me a bit. So you said about having that conversation not only on wax but also in person, and I think that's so important in my field of work. I did a lot of performance poetry and coaching, and so people believe that art is healing. Yes, it is, but art is not all that healing. Yeah, it doesn't encompass healing in general. It makes you feel good. It's a coping mechanism. It's beautiful, but also we have to do groundwork. And sometimes we skip that groundwork because we're listening to music and we're going to exhibits and we're intaking, but we also have to, there needs to be output.
Exactly.
So I'm so happy that we're doing this because a lot of artists forget we're people.
Yeah.
We're not just a product, we're people.
That is so too. We're not just a product. We are people as well. All of
Very
us.
real feelings.
Yeah.
Speaking of feelings, I want to ask you something.
Okay.
So, how do you feel about generational trauma? Like, what does that mean to you? Because I know in the Black community we have a lot of that.
Well, the thing about it is a lot of people don't really talk about, especially in the Black community. A lot of people don't talk about how our upbringing pretty much determines a lot of who we become, like when we grow older. It's crazy. Every day I'll do something and I'll just think, I wonder where that came from.
Yep.
It's like, oh, okay, that I see that. I wonder if that's from when I was little and this whole thing happened, or something like that. So and I noticed that in a lot of people too. In this line of work, I've come in contact with so many people, and that's one of the things that I do. I just pay attention to the way that they move, the way that they talk, and I notice little things that a lot of times can be triggered just from having things happen in their childhood that have affected that. So getting into generational trauma and everything like that it rolls over like a cell phone bill. It rolls over,
like a bill, baby.
Right, like what happens to those that come before you will also determine things that happen to you as well.
No, I feel that. I feel like for me also it's been a weird thing to dive into, because the way I looked at my parents were like parents, these beings who take care of us, right? And then we become adults or parents ourselves and we go, wow, I can see why this happened. Exactly. I can see why that happened. I can see why they weren't always present and always just there for me, especially emotionally. Just recently, about 2 days ago, I got dressed, feeling good about myself. My mom was just like, I don't like that. I don't like your outfit. I don't like your makeup. And she's been doing that my whole life. And I finally told her, well, I like it. Makes me feel good. And so this is what we're going to be doing. You can like it. You don't have to like it. It doesn't matter. It's what's happening. She left my room, and I kid you not, seconds later, not even a minute, came back and said, I am so sorry. Like, I apologize for that because that's something my mom used to do to me, and I have become my mother. She said, I did not realize that. And that's when generational trauma really rings true for me, where it's like, I didn't even know that was affecting me.
Yeah.
I just thought, that's my mama. She just never likes what I do, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But really, it was. And I cried, and I never felt those feelings. But it's simply acknowledging that they have something to do with why I am the way that I am.
Exactly.
And disrupting that pattern.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if I have kids, for my kids.
Right. Yeah.
But also, like, for me personally, I would like to know, because I know you spoke to me about taking a hiatus of sorts. Mm-hmm. So why did you step away from your art to focus on self? What was that like?
So last year was a really crazy year for me. Mm-hmm. My brother passed last year, and my grandfather passed, and I had a couple of other close friends pass, like all within a 4-month period of each other. At the beginning of it, you know, I was just trying to, you know, keep going, because like you were saying earlier, we tried to repress the things that are hurting us with busyness. Like with you know, just moving and keeping things going and all that other stuff like that. And so, you know, I was still trying to record, and I was still trying to, you know, do shows and all kinds of other stuff like that. Finally, it got to a point where I just couldn't do it. Like, the thing about me, I like to be able to be a light to people, you know, when I'm around. And the thing is, I started, you know, detaching myself from people that I cared about, and started, you know, not going places and not doing things because I didn't want to not be able to be that for people. Not only that, but I started not being that for myself either. And so I kind of went into my little shell, and in that time, I just got time to kind of know more about me and like what makes me who I am, and the things that make me feel better, and the things that allow me to be able to, you know, create again, be able to love again, be able to just live again. You know, one day I was in this very room, and it was a really intense day, and I grabbed my chair, went over to my desk, and I stood on top of that chair, and on that wall I grabbed the marker and I wrote, "Right now is not forever. It'll all be okay." And
that's so true.
I still have it written up there too. And yeah, because the thing about it is, as much as we allow things to bring us down, and as much as we allow, you know, pain and trauma to control our being, we also have to remember, in those moments, that moment won't last forever if you don't allow it to. So yeah, I took like a brief hiatus, you know, just stepped away from everything, and became more aware of self. And then, you know, yeah, then I started going out, like forcing myself to be around people that I cared about, and do all that other stuff like that, and started, you know, feeling myself get back into a rhythm. Then Corona happened and all that stuff.
Miss Rona did not come to play, baby.
Exactly.
She did not.
Shut down all the gigs.
She knocked all
shut
of it
down
over.
all the sessions, all the events, everything. I was out in LA when it happened too. When they did the shutdown, I was in LA and I was on stage, and the police came and said that that everything had to shut down by 12 a.m. and we were still in the middle of my set. And so, yeah, you know, we shut everything down, and then I was just there in LA. None of the people I would usually be around there were there. You know, none of my like just regular stuff to distract myself was there, and So I actually had to sit there and really, really, really like head on, like take some of those feelings and do something with them before they, turned into a volcanic eruption of just, negativity or whatever it is that it could turn into. And then I wrote a whole EP about it.
So your hiatus led you to a space where you could do that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's amazing. Where you became so self-aware, where you were like, I have all of these emotions.
Exactly.
I can't go back. Let me sort through this. Let me organize. Because the brain is a junk drawer. I try to tell people, you have to spring clean. Like, you have to tidy up every now and then, and sometimes very often. And that's what you did.
Yeah, I had to. And, it's crazy. So with this whole Corona shutdown thing, it's forced a lot of people to be in a place where, like, they realize, oh yeah, it really sucks. We had all these goals and plans and all this stuff, that was supposed to be going on. But then also it forces us to, like, have to deal with a lot of this stuff, that's happening internally, because a lot of people do that thing where, there's stuff bothering them, but they're not gonna stop. They're just gonna keep going, keep trying to be progressive, trying to, keep working until they can, until they feel like they can just, work the pain away. But you can't.
Solange told us.
Right, exactly.
She did.
You can't work it away, you can't drink it away, none of that. You have to actually allow yourself to get to a point where you can heal effectively, so that you can not only get better but stay better.
I love that.
So
goodness.
Yeah.
There are so many coping mechanisms, and that looks different for everybody. Like, some people choose drugs, some people choose partying, some people choose, just anything. Anything can be an addiction. I try to tell people that absolutely anything you rely on to feel better, to feel good, can be an addiction. And that can be people. That can be a lover. Like, it can become toxic so quick. And so for you to sit there and go, I need something permanent. Like,
exactly.
I need something more long term, because I can't just feel good today. I want to feel good for years. And we keep changing, so that feel good, that's going to change. You're going to have to go back to the drawing board and go, okay, I'm a different person now.
Exactly.
I'm an older Eddie. What do we need to survive?
Exactly.
Like, I love your story. I love that you put your story in your art. Go check out the art, yo. Float Away is my favorite. Go check it out.
Thank you. Yeah, that record was pretty much like what we just talked about. That record is pretty much just like me saying it took all this time to get back to living my life, and I just want to stay in this frame of mind, even if it means having to float away for a bit, even if it means having to step away from, certain things to, like, collect myself again, like, not let myself be brought down back to the depths of where I was before,
I'm trying to get where you're at. Like, I never say I want what you have, but I want to be in a similar space.
Yeah.
Where you are, because I did the same thing. I was an artist. I was working as an artist, making, a living off of it. And then I go, I got some stuff in here.
Right.
That's not sorted. I got stuff, from my childhood. I have stuff from relationships. I have so many insecurities I haven't faced. And I was like, yo, you're an ugly person. I had to tell myself that you are so ugly. Doesn't mean you're not beautiful also. It can be even more beautiful. But that's
heavy.
And this was very ugly. So I took myself out the game.
Yeah.
Sat down for almost 3 years. Like, I would do things in between, but I never felt good doing them. The last time I felt good doing art was about 3 years ago. I was just doing it because it was what I was supposed to be doing, because it was my line of work. But like you, I sat down, I sorted I went to therapy, like, got my diagnosis.
Very important.
Like, I allowed myself to be vulnerable and black, like to be weak and black. to be needing and black. You know, we're so
Such a huge
self-sufficient.
thing. Exactly.
Like, we're supposed to get it out the mud. We're supposed to bootstraps and all that. Like, that's not fair to us. Like,
exactly.
We deserve more, and I had to be that for myself. But luckily, we've connected.
Right.
Because you caught me right as I was exiting that hiatus.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, the world looks like it's ending, but I'm not. Like,
right, exactly.
Like, I'm going to bounce back.
That is
And that's
such
when you hit me up. So I know that this is meant to be. I know that this is a relationship that's going to maintain itself.
Exactly, yeah. It's like things just happen in a line, you know, the way that they're supposed to.
This monster I've become. Oh, look what you done me. Look what you done. Yeah. Look what you done me.
Guys, I want y'all to meet her. Right? She's an extraordinary being, man.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.